If I could sit down with Colin Kaepernick, there's probably a lot of stuff he and I would agree on. There's a lot of things about the NFL that he and I would find common ground about. But when you take it to the place of equating people in the National Football League with slaveholders, now we have a problem, because nobody in the NFL was taken from their home. Nobody in the NFL was ripped away from their families. Nobody in the NFL was robbed of their dignity and chained. And it's the wrong metaphor. There are better metaphors out there for what he's talking about. And using the slave metaphor only does one thing. It creates division. Because see, if I use that metaphor, then what we have is this group versus this group. And once you've done that, you've created division. And now the byproduct of your documentary is conflict. And the problem with conflict is that there's a lot of crap going on in the systems in our government. I think Russell Brand does an amazing job of talking about the brokenness within the systems, right? And people in power, I would argue people like Colin Kaepernick who are in power. If you have millions upon millions of dollars, if you suck as a football player, I'm sorry, he does. If you suck as a football player and you still get to make a Netflix documentary, you're in a position of power. You're in a position to assert your opinions into the world. That's a position of power. And when you use that to create division, you are actually perpetuating the brokenness in the system that you are railing against. That doesn't work. And I legitimately think, and Tom McDonald talks about this in a lot of his songs, if we actually united as a country of people, this is a weird way to say that. If we actually united as a people, we could fix the systems. We could create new systems. We could create systems that allow people to prosper while also dealing with the brokenness that still exists in our country. But people in positions of power don't want unity. If they did, we'd be unified. They want division because division allows them to continue their assertion for power. Biden doesn't want to unify the country. He wants to keep the country divided, because if we actually united, we wouldn't need him. We wouldn't need Biden's super left-wing agenda. We would just need each other. And that's what I want. I want our communities to need each other and to stop relying on the government. I want our neighborhoods to be places where people can have different opinions and we can still roast hot dogs on the weekend together. Where backyards are open, barbecues are happening, and it doesn't matter if you're black, white, brown, or purple. Everybody can come together, crack open a beverage of your choice, and live life together. That's where we have to start working towards.